What's up, everyone? My name is Jackie, the relationships manager here with the Dispo Sharks. You guys can follow us on Dispo Sharks, also on Radio Jackie _. Today, I have the pleasure to have here John and Diego. Welcome, guys.
Thank you. Thank you for having us here.
Now, I need to say that again. Today, we have John and Diego. Welcome, guys. You guys did an EBs or what?
Thank you for having us.
Well, we have the pleasure to have them. Well, actually, Diego is from Tucson, correct?
Yes, from Tucson.
So he drove here from Tucson, and then we have John that it's coming from LA. So he just flew for our podcast. That's super awesome. Well, you guys, as you guys know, Dispo Sharks are here to help you guys sell your deals. You guys have the deals. We have the sellers. So let's jump in, you guys, with this interview. And I want to start with whoever, paper, rock, scissors, whoever wants to start. But I want to talk to you guys about your journey, how you guys started in real estate.
Let's go ahead and start with the guest from LA.
Yay.
Let's do it. So how I started in real estate, man, because I didn't go to college.
Okay.
Right? I didn't. And growing up, I know you go to elementary school, everyone's like, who's college bound here? I never raised my hand. That was never in my mindset to go to college because I just didn't like school in general. I can't sit in a classroom and learn unless it's something I really, really like doing. Now, how did I get to becoming a real estate agent? It wasn't just, I had a realtor in my mind of wanting to become that. At first, it started off with being at a 9 to 5.
Okay.
Right. So out of high school, I was a BMW technician. Right.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So I went to school for 4 months in Jersey, flew back out, got hired at Irvine BMW, was there for about 2 years. First year I made 70 G's, working on motors, M5s, M3s, everything you could think about a BMW that needs work on, from the headliner to anything. I did it.
So I have some challenges with my X4 right now. Can you help me out? Okay.
Nah,
Not
I
right
can't.
now.
People always ask me that. I'm like, nah, not anymore. It's just because of the fact that I just don't like it. Right? It's cool at the time. However, when you make that kind of money when you're 20 and 19 years old, it's cool, right? But then it gets to a point where everybody around you is like 50, 30, and 40.
Yeah.
Right? And now they're saying, man, don't talk to me until it's 8 because they're so miserable. So at that point, it's like you hit the top, what's next?
Definitely.
So that's when it hit me. I was like, there's gotta be more to life.
How old were you at this time?
19, 20.
19, 20.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it hit me and I'm like, I need to find something better than this, where there's no cap to how much I can make. What can I do? I started going on YouTube. How can I make some passive income? Right? Started up an ATM business. I have that on the side right now. As well as doing Amazon FBA. I tried that for a little bit. My store got suspended. We made 75 G's in 3 months. Shout out to Alan if you're watching this. And
Yay.
at that point though, I didn't know what to do because I hit rock bottom. I hit a peak and then I came down. But that's the thing about being an entrepreneur. You go through that.
Definitely.
You do. There's a lot of ups and downs. So that's when it all started, right? I lost my store, got suspended. And then from there, I had to start Ubering. I had a BMW, nice ass BMW, had to sell it. Dropped my pride. Started from rock bottom again. I had a 2006 black Prius, started Ubering, door dashing, saving up money. I'm like, what am I going to do?
This is like in 2000.
This is 2019.
2019.
Yeah.
When pandemic started?
Yeah. Going into 2020. No, in 2020 before pandemic started. So that happened and I was like, what am I going to do? And then real estate came to mind. So I was like, why don't I just become an agent? I was an agent for 8 months, right? Saved up reserves from Ubering, door dashing, went all in door knocking every single day. Made no money, right? But before, let's backtrack one step. Before I became an agent, I was wholesaling for 1 month. Just 1 month just to start speaking to people because you don't need a license to wholesale.
Yes.
Right? Everybody knows that. So I'm wholesaling, but I didn't have a goal to become like the Dispo Sharks here. I didn't have that in mind yet. So it was for a month. I got my license and then I started door knocking, making calls. And this guy, this is how we met. We were on Brian Casella's team, Team BC with eXp Realty. And I met him here. And what did you do, bro? You hit me up.
I was bugging him because, you know, practicing your scripts and mastering your script are always key to, you know, talking to sellers and so forth. So
Of course.
I was brand new. I knew nobody. And I reached out to him because, you know, I would see videos of him. He was very sharp. He wouldn't even answer my messages, honestly.
Oh, damn.
Because I was bugging him. I'd be like, bro, like let's script practice. Let's script practice.
Yeah.
So finally, we just started doing it, and it became a daily thing from there. And you know that's how our friendship began. And then from there, it's just kind of, you know, blowing up. We became business partners, and you know we're here today.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So right now you're currently doing what on the field?
Right now, I'm wholesaling full time with Diego.
Wholesaling. Okay. All right, Diego, how did you start it?
Yeah, it's another journey like John's. My story isn't as crazy as John's, but it was for sure a mission to get here. You know, I just graduated about 2 years ago, 2020, during the pandemic. So once I graduated, you know, being from a Hispanic family, what do they usually want you to do? Either college or go work construction, go to the field.
Definitely.
So what did I do? I went to the field. I'm like, you know what? School's not for me.
Yeah.
I'm going to go work for, I started with some window company. Same thing like John. You know, I'm working for a window company. The guy sitting next to me is like 40 years old, hates his life, hates his kids, if I'm being honest. You know, he's just very, very miserable. So it's like, do I really want this for my future? Another opportunity popped up to go ahead and work electrical work. I said, you know what? It's paying more money. And before you're on the entrepreneur grind, our mindset's set to say, how much should we make an hour? We go based off,
Yes.
15 an hour? Oh, that's a lot of money. I'm going to go work for 15 an hour instead of $13 an hour. Went off to go ahead and do that. Was there, and that's when things kind of hit me. I'm working. I'm like, man, I really want a new car. The new car I want costs $60,000. I make $40,000 a year. It just didn't really line up.
Didn't make sense.
It didn't make sense, exactly. I'm like, how am I going to afford that if it's more than what I make a year? So I was telling my family members, I want to do real estate possibly because I heard real estate agents make a lot of money.
Yes.
I knew nothing about it. Of course, being Hispanic parents, they're like, no, why are you going to do that? You know, it's hard, blah, 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 blah.
It's not secure.
It's not secure, exactly. There came a point in time, though, where I just started YouTubing real estate. Came across Brian Casella. He's big in the real estate game. Was watching his videos, heard about his story and so forth. I'm like, man, I can really do this. I can do it. I had maybe $4,000 saved in my account. Said, you know what? I'm quitting my job. Told my mom, you know, she was mad, of course, but I quit. Started real estate school. Went full-time into real estate last year. From February up until right around December, I was door knocking full-time, hitting the phones full-time. Made all of maybe $4,000, if that. And in the mix of it, I lost money. I went broke. And I was like, man, I need to re-strategize because obviously this isn't working out, but I do like the real estate field. So I said, you know what? I'm going to do wholesale. So I ended up selling my car. Sold my car to get into wholesale. Didn't know what I was doing. Was just sending out SMS blasts. That didn't work out. My account actually went down and went negative. And me and John ended up, I had already known John during this time, around December, this past December. I said, you know what, bro, let's do it. Let's partner up. Let's go full time in this. He's like, let's rock. We ended up doing it. And man, it's just been a success story ever since. You know, we right now we're running a pretty good company right now. We've done 6 figures in 2 months. So it's been phenomenal for sure.
That's awesome, you guys. Congratulations on that. It's a great success. And I kind of like look into your guys' social media just to find a little bit more about you guys. And I was able to see you, like your family doing trips and all that. And also that you got a new home, a new place to live.
Oh, yeah.
So going back to what you said, like the challenges, we have challenges every day, but how do you guys manage those challenges and are able to balance your guys' life with personal? Because it's not a 9 to 5 no more. Is this a 24/7 job now?
It's a great question.
That's a very good question. I think that's what separates you from the 99% in the world because it's how you deal with them, right? Like right now, our phones are blowing up because employees are bringing us leads. You know, we have questions from employees and stuff's going on in the business, right? It's nonstop though. The average person goes to sleep at what, 10? An entrepreneur goes to sleep when?
1 a.m.,
1 a.m., 2 a.m., 3 a.m. Sometimes I don't get no sleep. But it's what's your vision? What's your goal, right? You're going to hit a standpoint where you're going to make the money and then you're going to ease off the gas because that's what happened to us, right? We ate 100 G's in 2.5 months and then we kind of just chilled. We were like, damn.
I did all that.
But then it's like, yo, we don't have no more deals. What's going on? And then we start freaking out and we said, like, let's get back to work, right? So your goal needs to be more than that. And how do you deal with the challenges and life? There's really no balance. I think it more comes down to your routines, your rituals. What are your morning rituals?
What are your guys' morning rituals?
Right.
I'll go ahead and start off with that. So, I mean, his are very similar to mine. So we're early risers, right around 4 to 5 a.m.
Oh.
You know, we'll wake up, read our books, meditate, of course, and take our cold showers, hit the gym, and then boom, we're on the phone doing acquisitions pretty much all day, taking care of the employees and so forth. But like John said, I feel like there's really no, when it comes to balance, you just kind of got to roll with the punches, especially when you're starting off as an entrepreneur. You're not going to have balance in your life. You know, you can't balance family and balance your business to start off with, at least. You know, you got to grow your business to where you could get it to a point where now you have unbalanced, even more family time, if that. So
to have the freedom of that, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So you guys read, you guys go to the gym. By what time do you guys are at the office, or how do you guys connect with each other? Is it just through text, or you guys are on Zoom or FaceTime all day?
Yeah, so it's through Google Meets. We'll have a Google Meet set up. He's in AZ, I'm in Cali. So the cool thing is we don't have to be in the same office. It'd be dope if we were, right? Because then we'd just be fucking around.
Not working.
No, but it's cool though. We have a Google Meets playing. And then what I do is I'll wake up at 4. He's up at 4, right? We meditate. Well, I write my affirmations. It's crazy. I have a journal. I posted it on my Instagram. For those of you who follow me, you already know. I would write in February and in January, I am living in my own penthouse before I turn 25 years old. I am making $100,000 by this month. I am this, I am that, I am that. Boom, it all happened.
Manifesting.
Exactly. So that's just one part of the morning ritual.
Okay.
Right? Now, after that, we get into the cold shower. Right?
How's that?
At first, it sucks. I'm not going to lie. It does. But then it calluses your mind. Right?
Okay.
So after you do the cold shower, you feel invincible. That's all I'm going to say. Right? I do it for about 1 to 2 minutes and then I'm out and then, you know, it's to work. Boom. What's on the board? What deals do we have to dispo? What deals do we have to accu? So that's it right there.
What about for you, Diego?
Yeah, it's very similar, but you know, as in regards to the cold shower, it's very unique to utilize it, especially in your morning ritual, because a lot of times we're never really in the moment. You know, we're here, but we're thinking of a million other things. But when you're in the cold shower, all you're thinking about is that cold water hitting your head and getting out of the shower.
Getting out.
Yeah, it's one of the only moments you're really there. You know, so I definitely love implementing that. The journaling as well, like John said, the whole manifesting aspect of it, of writing the I ams, you know, manifesting your future backed with action is it's golden. You know, that's how you manifest anything, is you write it down, you know, you envision it and you take action and boom, you're good to go.
It's super easy for us who are young or at the age of 20s, on our 20s, to sidetrack, right? And more because you're young, you want to go out, meet people, party. How can you guys put that boundary? How are you guys able to do that? Because it's quite difficult. And even for people who already have their families, you know? I don't know if you guys have a wife or not, or kids or not, but it's quite difficult for those individuals. How do you guys manage that?
Man, I mean,
or you still guys it? Or
I have a couple girlfriends at home. Not playing. No, so
that's what's up. I need more tips.
So no, in the beginning, going into high school, I had a lot of parties. I had a lot of fun. Okay. Right? I wasn't a straight A student. I was not. I just did enough to get by, and I fucked around a lot. So I had parties at my own house. I had all my fun then, and once I got out, it was like, okay, time to make money. Straight out of 18, out of high school, boom. That's when I went to trade school. So that kind of faded away, that phase I had of like wanting to party. I can see that now though, if you're going to college and you had strict parents, right, that didn't let you go out. Now getting into college, let's all face it, college is like all about having fun.
It's all fun and games.
Yeah, the partying, all
Sorority,
that.
fraternities.
Exactly. So, I mean, I'll leave that question up to you, bro. So
Yeah, I mean, you pretty much covered it. You know, when you're young and in high school and you get all your partying out of you, all the going out of you, by the time you graduate, you know, you're just really on, okay, I graduated, I'm out of school, what's next? Especially if you don't go to college. You know, it's straight to the money, but it really depends, you know, it's on like what your whole mindset is and what your vision is, because I'm at the age where a lot of people my current age are getting into their 21s. You know, they're about to be 21. They're starting to go out. But man, I went out so much my high school years because I'm actually from Douglas. So I would live
Nice. Tu agua prieta.
Yeah, I grew up in a border town. So I was always over there partying and stuff. So it just really got out of my system. You know, you don't like to do it anymore. So now it's like, okay, this is my vision. Now I need to go get money. So that's how I really snapped out of it quick, because I got it all out of me.
That's amazing. So talking about money, what was like your first guy's deal? How was it?
didn't feel anything. We felt like we needed to make more,
exactly.
Do you guys remember that deal?
Yes, we do. Damn.
Want me to cover it real quick?
Yeah, handle, bro.
Okay, so we locked up a deal in like the middle of nowhere in Ohio. We're first starting virtual wholesaling. We don't really know what we're doing at all. We're like, okay, we got the deal. Now, what do we do next? Okay, we need to find a buyer. Turns out we locked the deal in way too high. No buyers want to buy it. We're like on our it's set to close in 30 days. 20 days gone by and we don't have a buyer. The seller thinks, you know, everything's going good in escrow, but we don't know what to tell him, you know, like, hey, you know, he thinks we're buying it. So I say, you know what, John, we got a price reducer. We got to do it. So John rings him up, says, hey, you know, this dude was a straight driver. I mean, he was on it, very sophisticated man. So when John told him that we need to go down $20,000, man, he lost it on the phone. He lost it. He started yelling, screaming. Bro, might have even hung up. But we played like a good cop, bad cop. So John was a bad cop.
Yeah.
I called him up a little later like, hey, you know, I'm sorry, but it's in a lot more rough condition than what we anticipated. So he let us do the price reduction. Now we price reduced it $20,000 and nobody still wants to pick it up. And aside from this, we actually had another deal locked in as well in the same market, another horrible house. So like, man, let's just ask $1,000. So we locked them in for like 30. Both of them we locked in for like 30. We're like, okay, let's ask 31 for each one. So we ended up asking 31,000 for each property. So we made like 1,000.
Oh, wow.
But it was like such an experience, such like it was crazy talking to these investors.
The adrenaline.
You know? The investors being bullies on the phone. We don't really know what's going on, but it worked out from there. That seller from the $1,000 deal actually said, you know what, guys? I like the way you performed somehow. He said, I have another property. And the other property is where we actually made our first $10,000, you know, deal right there. So
wow,
it led to that. And then from there, they just kind of snowballed. But for sure, your first deals are always a headache. You don't know what to do, but it's always good to get that experience in you for sure.
Our mindset was, we're just going to figure it out. Mm-hmm. I mean, we hit rock bottom. We have nothing else to lose, right? We don't have a wife. We don't have kids. We're going to figure this shit out. So that was it. It was $1,000 our first deal.
Wow, that's awesome.
1,000, and then the second one was another 1,000, and then the third one was a 10. So we made total of 12,000 that month. The next month is when everything turned.
And that's divided by the two of you. So you're like, it works, right?
Yeah.
So we have a lot of people that are new to this field or trying to jump in. What's something that you guys could tell them? Any tips, any words of motivation for those individuals?
I would say when it comes down to wholesale, you can learn, right? It's all over YouTube, but more than anything, it's your communication. Because I can teach you from the step A to step Z, the whole process. But if you do not know how to communicate to the homeowner, man, you're not going to close the person, right? Or how to deal with a driver like this first guy we had using tie downs after every sentence. Okay, do you understand? How do you reframe and take control of that conversation, right? So I would recommend reading some books on communication, right? Going out there, door knocking, throwing yourself in the water. you're not going to know everything right off the bat, but as soon as you start, I mean, that's when the whole doors open up for opportunity, learning, and getting that experience in. You just got to go throw yourself in the water.
Anything else you want to add?
Yeah, I'll add on to that. Just like John said, throw yourself into the water. Just take the actual action. A lot of people come to us say, hey, I don't have the money to start up. I don't have the money for this, that, and that. It's like, we didn't either. We were door dashing every day to pay for our subscriptions for a batch dial and so forth, but we made it work. A lot of people, they just got to jump in the water and take the action. Because if you're sitting there saying, should I do this? Should I not do this? You're self-doubting yourself and you're putting more poison within your mind. So it's going to be worse. It's going to take longer for you to start. Mm-hmm. Versus if you just jump in and say, you know what? I'm going to change my life now and I'm going to take the action. It's going to have a great return, It
all starts with a cold shower, bro.
Yeah,
exactly.
And manifesting.
Exactly.
The journal too. So talking about that, I know that you guys will mention that you guys communicate every day, but how can people communicate with you guys? What are your guys' usernames or social media, phone numbers? How can we get to talk to John and Diego?
Yeah, you can find me at the John Hernandez on Instagram. That's where I reply to a lot of people. Facebook as well. You could just type in John Hernandez. I'm going to start posting more on YouTube. When I was an agent, I was posting every day. But I'll start posting again more now. So, yeah.
Yeah, you can find me on Instagram at the official Diego Jimenez, on Facebook, Diego Jimenez. And that's it for now. In the future, I'm going to have a YouTube as well.
That's
Putting
awesome.
out more free game, really getting people inspired, letting them know, hey, just certain tools that we felt like we didn't have when we first started. Of course, there's a lot of videos out there, but in regards to like certain communication techniques, how to talk to the homeowners, how to talk to the buyers and so forth. So
You guys mentioned, before ending, you guys mentioned books. What books do you suggest? Because we do have a list that we add books that our host come and suggest. So what books do you guys recommend?
The books I recommend are like on NLP, hypnosis, not to hypnotize a homeowner, nothing like that. It just comes down to
mental.
Mental. So Sleight of Mouth is a really good one by Robert Dilts. That's one of my favorite books. It teaches you language patterns to use, right? Presuppositions. How do you assume the sale, right? How do you communicate that to the homeowner? Embedded commands. It goes so in depth into NLP, language patterns, and all that. So that's a good one. Another one is Never Split the Difference. Have you heard of that one?
I never heard of that one.
Yeah, it's actually the author is an FBI agent.
Okay.
Who does negotiations with like terrorists. It's red and yellow. So it's a really, really good book.
I'll look into that one.
yeah, those are very good books. I would recommend Pitch Anything
Okay.
and NLP, The Essential Guide. Those two, with his two, you're destined for
Perfect.
perfection.
Perfect combination.
Yeah.
Well, anything else that you guys would want to add to our interview, you guys?
I would just say it just comes down to just doing it, taking action. I mean, you can watch the interviews, you can read the courses, read the books, all this, but it comes down to just taking action. How bad do you want it, right? Because I teach people as well. Diego does too. And we have a Discord server that we've created. But at the end of the day, it comes down to how bad do you really want it, right? And that's what's going to separate you from everybody else.
Anything
Perfect.
else?
Yeah, I would just add on to there. Just figure it out. If you're hurting for money right now, if you got a DoorDash every day, just do it and take the action. And like John said, instead of it's always good to watch podcasts, of course, but don't just watch them all day expecting for there to be some magic key to give you success. No, the only key to success is going to be the action you take for sure.
Yeah, and I can see that action with you guys. I just want to add one last success or goal that you have right now, because I want to see that happen. So give me a goal that you have in mind right now, because next time that I talk to you, I want that to. I want to hear like Diego saying, "I made it happen, Jackie." So anything in mind that you have, a goal?
Mm-hmm.
I would personally say an extra $300,000 by June.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And I'm going to contact you and I'm going to say, "Hey, did you make this happen?"
We may
What about
find
you?
that.
What about you, John?
Same thing. another 100, 300,000. So 100K this month, and then the month after, boom.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys for coming to our studio and being part of our host. I'm pleasure to have you guys here. Anything else?
That's about it.
That's about it. I appreciate you guys for having us here. So.
I really do. This is dope. I don't know anybody else who does this. This is cool, honestly. So
thank you guys. Well, as you guys know, we make this podcast to bring value to our community, to educate our community. If you guys find any value on it, remember to follow us on Dispo Sharks. We also add this to YouTube and Spotify, so you guys can hear our interviews. If you guys have any deals that you guys are having challenges with, you guys can always contact us, Dispo Sharks, Radio Jackie _, and we'll see you soon. Our next podcast.